Yeah, students, today we will see the problem solving in AI. As we have discussed the meaning of the problem solving, what is mean by the problem solving? In general discussion, we can say problem solving means whatever a problem we have and what is the approach we will use to solve the problem, and what is the function, what is the method, what is the techniques, what is the concept we will apply to solve our problem to get the desired result. That is the important words. A problem can be solved out, but is this guarantee we are getting the correct result or desired result or accurate result? That is a very important. So problem solving is necessary terms in the AI that is required to understand over here. For understand this one, what we have a problem characteristics. So before understanding the problem solving, I would like to tell something about the problem characteristics. I have written the lots of the content over here for notes purpose only, but these are the important points you have to keep in mind. Problem characteristics. Without knowing the problem characteristics, how we can understand the problem solving? A problem may have a different aspect of the representation and explanation. Definitely, in this world, we don't have a one problem. We have n number of the problems. So, in order to n number of the problem, we have to select the appropriate method or technique or concept to solve our problem. And as we have discussed, few couple of the second step for this point. So, what is the first step in to solve any problem? Our first step is to analyze the problem, and after analyzing the problem, you will try to find a solution. So, without knowing the problem, that is the problem identification. So, without knowing the problem or identification of the problem or recognize the problem, how you will able to solve the problem? And there are many dimension or directions from which we can understand the problem. It is just like simple example. If as a being your supervisor, I'm giving you a problem, you will able to solve this problem at your end only, no issue. Unlike you, there are many students, so many students will give the idea into different perspectives. So there are many dimensions we can have to solve the problem and to recognize the problem. That is a way. So problem characteristics define this way. So what is the problem characteristics? So we have some characteristics. One is the problem decomposable into set of the subproblem? Yes, it is important. If we have a problem, why decomposable is required? Just tell me right now. Why decomposable is required? It's very simple concept.
So because solving a problem by decomposing it into sub-problems is easier and it's
Okay.
less complex.
Okay, that's great. So there is a problem P I'm taking. This problem I am dividing into subproblem SP1. I'm taking simple example, just understanding purpose only here. And this part we have already seen in our programming as well. And this concept we can understand by the modular programming. So if I'm just solving any problem, I'm writing a code. So what I will do, I will define the various functions to solve the specific problem. So if a certain problem, if this function is having any problem, so I will touch or I will just look out only the such function. I will not disturb to the other function. It is just like example of the banking. In a banking problem, we have a deposit of the amount, we have the withdraw the amount, we have the check the balance. So if I need to withdraw the amount, then I will not see the deposit function. I will not do anything in the check balance function. So I will look out the problem into the withdrawal function. So troubleshooting of the problem will be, or troubleshooting of the our any issues, we can easily get the easier way. So this is the decomposable is more important. So is the problem decomposable into set of subproblem? This is the first point we have to keep in mind. Next, can the solution step to ignore or undone? Yes, tell me right now. Yes, the solution can be step, be ignored or undone. Can the solution step be ignored or undone? It is possible or not? If we have, so how? Just take an example. Tell me. Yes, tell me. It's very simple. If I'm solving any problem and there are certain steps we have, and I can't ignore the something. If I'm ignoring, then what is the sense of the ignoring that part? So I need to use all the appropriate function that should be relevant. So irrelevant functions we can ignore. So that is the point we have. So can the solution step be ignored or undone? If yes, then why? If not, then it's okay. So that is the point. So problem characteristics will require these points. So this is our second characteristics in terms of the question we can say. Next one is the problem universally predictable? That is the point. If you try to solve the real time problem, as you told me a few couple of the minutes ago, are we solving the real time problem or are we solving the general problem? So the problem is universally predictable or not? That is the point. So while solving the problem, we have to keep in mind this point. Fourth point is a good solution the problem obvious without the comparison to all the other possible solutions? That is very important point. I'm taking the very simple example. Each and every bank it just has own operating own software. Why the all the banks are not using the common applications or common software? That is the way. So the problem we are trying to solve, the fix we are having, and the functionality of all the banks are similar to all the banks. But the point we have to keep in mind, we have the one solution which is already available. Why are trying to design while trying to develop the new solution? That is my point. The purpose of the statement over here, if we have a n number of the solutions, why you are looking for the better solution? Because the previous solution does not belong to the current features as we are looking for the new environment. So that is the reason we can try to update our previous solution by the new features. That is really happening with our operating systems as well. We have Windows 98 and now till we have the Windows 11 now. We have Windows 10 and then Windows more updated version. That is 11. So why we have the updated version? Because in current scenario, hardware configuration is updated, software configuration will also be required to update. So operating system will also be updated. So the previous solution will be updated by the new versions or new features. That is the reason. So problem can be updated of problem solution can be updated by the new requirements and new features we have to introduce. If I'm remembering very simple example, the 1995, I have seen the uh, banking applications and I've seen the library applications. So software, it was working finely in the Windows 3.1. That was the application, not a software, not an operating system. But why we have the different kind of the library-based software? We have the scanning, we have the various things. Why? Because in the time demands and the year by year, we have a new feature. So as per the new features, we have updated our library features. That is the point. Now, if talk about the banking applications, so in the 1998, when first time I saw the various features of the banking, they have used the different databases, just like the FoxPro. FoxPro was the older one of databases, but now the company using the Oracle database and company using the MySQL databases. Why? Because security features and different kind of the features we have to introduce. So the whatever the solution we have in the good position, are we getting the good solution in the coming days or coming years? And that is the point. So all the new features, all the possible features we have to introduce. So that is the reason. So comparison is more important factor. And fifth point is the desired solution state the world of a path or state. That is the point. So desired solution we are expecting, that is really applicable to the current society or to the whole world as we are looking for. And the large amount of the knowledge absolutely required to solve the problem. Without knowing the anything, so how you can solve the problem? You don't know the any programming language, and if I'm trying to speak, the person who don't know the programming and he or she is trying to develop the application, it is possible? No. So the knowledge or the concept should be clear about the anything. So as a being a software developer, I have idea of the various languages, so I can develop my software by using the or by choosing the appropriate application. That is my point. So knowledge is more important. And seventh one is again we have the will the solution the problem require interaction between the computer and person. That is a this is a general way. Have you been noted down many times? So when I'm trying to search something, so I'm just typing the first three letters, or respectively the first three letter or first four letter, the city names or anything is just come automatically. So this is coming from the or this is filtering out from the my database. So this is known as the interaction. This is known as UI, graphical user interface based interaction. I'm getting everything. So the interaction must be properly. And just like the our ATM. So previously we have the buttons, we are pressing the button. Now we have a touch screen. So with the help of the various kind of interaction mechanisms, we can provide the better solution as well. So these are the various problem characteristics, and these seven characteristics under come into a important points which is known as the seven problem characteristics. So in the examination, I can ask this kind of the question: explain all the seven characteristics by taking the example. So you have to take a simple example. You have to explain all the seven characteristics into the example, and you have to explain in deeply. So that is a simple kind of the question I can ask. So this is the problem characteristics. And now is it clear to all right now? These are seven characteristics. All
Yes,
these,
sir.
yeah, all these characteristics are the our real life parts as well. Whatever we are doing, you're trying to purchase a new phone. Why you are looking for the new phone? Because my previous phone was not updated towards the new application as I'm decided to look into the my phone, and the hardware configuration does not meet to the my requirement. So what I will do, I will purchase a new phone. That is the point. So you're trying to look for the new and better solution that was not handled by my previous solution. So you will update your phone. That is the reason. Or maybe you have another option. You can update the applications. That is a different way. So this is the problem characteristics. Okay. Now it is clear to all the people right now. Tell me anyone who need to ask any question or any characteristics so I can explain better way. If yes, you have any questions, so you can ask. Else we can move to the next part.
Clear, sir.
Okay. Now, so example of the problems in the artificial intelligence. Just look at the one, two, three, five images. So this is what actually. This is the nothing which is just example of the problems in the AI. So now let me explain all these things step by step. We know we have a number of problems. So we have to expect the AI problem that should be a real life problem as well. And the intelligence should be involved into the my solution. So example of the problems in the AI we have. So some of the most common problems encountered in day by day life are games and puzzles. These can be solved efficiently by using the artificial intelligence algorithms, and ranging from the mathematical puzzle, including the cryptographic arithmetics and magic squares, and logical puzzles, including Boolean formulas, and NQs to popular games like the Sudoku and tic-tac-toe and chess. We have these problem-solving techniques are used to form a solution for all these. So some of the most we can say the prevalent problems that artificial intelligence has uh, resolved in the following. We can say one is a chess. You can see the image. Chess is a great problem. That is a game playing. We can say. N queen problem you have already seen in the one course, that is the analysis of algorithm. So that is a great problem we have already seen. And Tower of the Hanoi, you just look at the right corner side. Okay, so we have a Tower of the Hanoi problem we can see in the data structure as well. Traveling salesman problem is again part of the analysis of algorithm, but that is the advanced way. So we have a traveling salesman problem. You can just look at the bottom side. Water jet problem is the famous problem to solve the or to implement a logic in the AI. So we have a water jet problem, and we have taken the 4 by 3, 4 or 3 water jet problem and 8 5 water jet problem. So these are the various problems we have already known to, and we can incorporate these problems into the AI as well to solve our problem. So here we can implement our intelligence. Intelligence, we have already discussed what is intelligence. So we can implement our intelligence or one part of the intelligence into our solution. So we are following the AI based problem. That is it. Now, anyone? Yes, yes. Anyone who need to ask any question? The simplest point I'm speaking. What are the problems? What are the things? So problem solving means we need to understand the problem characteristics and what are the problems we have. Yes. See, today what we are looking for, what we have seen the last 4 days. That is a summarize we can say. That is summarization we can say into the our conclusive part you can say. Yes, tell me. You people are familiar all these problems or anyone who is not familiar so I can explain. Yes, tell me right
Sir, I am not.
now. Yeah. See,
Like
if
I've heard of like one or two problem, but I'm like not completely familiar with all these.
okay, so which one? Which one? Chess problem, you know? The chess
Yes, sir.
problem.
Chess. Yes, sir.
Okay, chess problem. If talked about the eight wins problem, so you have already studied into the analysis of algorithm. Have you studied this problem in the eight wins problem?
Give me, sir.
Yes, tell me.
So, can you please explain the chess problem too?
Okay, chess problem is saying to like this one. We have a chess problem. So in the chess problem, we have a as a our opponent would be the computer, and as a being user, I will play. So other side, what I have the opponent. So computer will take the decision. Computer means the applications on which I am playing the chess. So that is the opponent, and as being a user, I will do the everything by the manually. So I'm just taking the turn or I'm taking the movement as per the my desired decision. So with help of the different pawn I'm using. So computer or we can say the as a computer opponent will take the decision, or it means all the possible solutions are already stored into the computer in terms of the programming as well. So whatever movement I'm taking, the computer will take the decision and will try to win the games at the application level. I'm also trying to win the game, but it's very hard to win. So tick just like the tick tick toe. So we will try to cross or the mark the circle on the possible way. So at least we can win the game. But computer applications are more smarter than us, so it will not easy to win the game. But there are some possibilities we can win the game. So we have a very less probability to win the game. So unlike the chess game, we have the AI. So AI chess game is nothing which is the problem. So these are the basic problems where AI can be incorporated. My statement was, and I'm speaking once again, the chess is a problem where we can implement the AI. So the other opponent that is a computer based, what the we have implemented all the possible options. So if I'm moving this movement, so definitely the computer will think. So with that a decision making process, that is known as decision making process, and we will see all the these parts in detail as well. With the help of the decision making process, the software will take the decision and take the movement appropriately to win the game or to save the opponent's pawn. That is my point. So this is a chess problem. Now it is clear right now. I think you have already heard about all these chess
Yes,
based
sir.
problems.
Sir, in the last semester we had Tower of Hanoi and traveling one.
Okay. Okay. So 18 problems we have. So 18 problems is just like this problem in which we have the some possible movements. These are the points or these are the place where we can save the our queen. So that is the 8 queens problem. Okay. So in the 8 key problems we have in a detailed manner, so I can speak. So what the purpose of this problem is saying to us, we can place the 8 queens on the chessboard in an order where no queens may attack another. That is our problem. So a queen can attack other queens either diagonally or in the some row and the columns. and that is a famous problem we have already studied into the for analysis of algorithm. That is the reason I have taken only those problems which part you have already studied. I'm not incorporating the different kind of the problem. I'm incorporating only those problems which part you have already studied. So this is the our problem we can use. So there eight queens are placed on the different positions, and what position, what place I have to take. That is my point. And why eight over eight? Because eight rows and eight colors by using, and this is the size of our chess, standard chess. And tower of Harney problem. This is the point we have. Tower of Harney problem. You have already studied into the data structure. This is the famous problem to manage the step. Am I right? Just tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we can use the AI. So with help of the AI based stack we can implement. So how we can manage? So you have to take the appropriate movement to manage your stack. So from the one point to another point, all the disk that will be shifted from one point to another point. We have this is the point. So here we have only the three. Here we have five disks and three row on which we can do. And next we have the waterjet problem. So no need to discuss more. I think we have already familiar with this waterjet problems and we have already solved this problem in our classes as well. Okay, it is clear right now. Waterjet problem. I hope it is clear. Yes, tell me. You have any doubt right now in the waterjet problem?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Okay. And now you have already heard the travel salesman problem. As I told you 2 days back or 1 day back, travel salesman problem is nothing which is a problem, and there is a person who is a salesman and who need to travel from the various cities to sell his product. So he is moving one point to another point or one city to another city. So there are many paths. So which path he need to choose to save the time? That is the enter coming to the traveling salesman problem, and this traveling salesman problem will be example of the graph theory. In the graph theory, we will study this problem, travel salesman problem. In we can say in the analysis of algorithm, we have to study the HP's problem. In the data structure, we have studied Tower Hanoi problem. Butterjack problem is a logical reasoning problem. That part we have to study into the AI. So that is not a part of the any data structure or analysis algorithm. That is a logical reasoning problem. So we have incorporated there. And first one was our chess problem. That is a general problem. So I'm taking the different problems here and put it into the image form from the various courses what we have discussed. So you can see the traveling salesman problem. So there is a one point that would be the starting point, and other point would be the goal point. So the how you can reaching from the starting to the goal point. So there are would be the different path. So which path you are choosing to save your time, and that is covering by the minimum path cost. And that part we have already discussed in our searching mechanism and how we can find. So uniform cost searching, if you remember this point, uniform cost searching, we have evaluated the cost to say this path will be better from the others one. That is reason. So traveling salesman problem we can implement by choosing the appropriate searching algorithm. That is the way. So you can see everything on your screen. We have this point. So there are the two paths we have. Just look at the dotted points. So we have the two paths also. Now it is clear right now. So all you are familiar right now. All these problems. These are the five problems I am taking here. So these problems we can adjust into the AI. That is my point. Yes, tell me right now. In detail manner theory I can give you so you can utilize. In the notes I can put all the data so you can utilize. Okay, any problem right now?
No, sir.
Okay. So what is a reflex agent? This is very important terms we have to keep in mind. What is a reflex agent? So first let me know right now what is agent. Just tell me right now, what is it in the AI? And you have already studied the fundamental of AI, and so that's why I'm asking this question. What is an agent?
Sir, we have not studied fundamentals of AML.
Oh, okay, no problem. So let me draw something here, then you will be able to understand the thing properly. Yeah. In the AI, what is the agent? So let me first draw something here. See, this is what? This is the our one area. This area is known as the environment. So environment is what? That is the some space where your problem may be shot out. Okay. So if there is some, I'm just taking only this kind of the examples. I'm just randomly drawing this one like this one. So this is just like a maze. So if you are on this position, if you are this position, so this position means there's a one person who is standing here. This person will be an agent. This person will be an agent. He or she need to move uh, from any direction. So the agent, I can write here, the agent will be the user on the environment space and followed by the some action. So what is the actions he can take? He can move to the left side, right side, upside and downside. And if this is the exit point, if this is the exit point, so how he can exit after entering the maze. So maze is what? Maze in an environment, and agent will be the user. And what kind of action he can follow? He can follow the left movement, right movement, up movement, down movement. So this is what, and what is the rules? He can move into the left side, right side. So following by the some rules, and these rules are known as the production rules. And following by these rules, the person can move. The person can move any direction. So this is what, this is the something. So here agent will be the environment. So what is the definition of the agent? An agent, I can write over here. An agent is an entity that can. This could be the person. This could be any objects that can use environment to solve the problem. To solve the problem by actions. Okay, so this is a simple meaning statement I have written over here. So while facing the examination, who will be the agent? You will be the agent. And what is the environment? Your examination hall. So in the examination hall, you will be the agent, and who is facing the examination. And what is the rule? You have the rule. You have to solve the problem. You have to write the answer properly, and you can't solve the five more than the five questions. So these are the rules. You can solve the question less than the five, but you can't solve the problem so questions more than the five. So these are the some rules, and just examination rules we can say. And you are not allowed to use the mobile phone. You are not allowed to move out in between the examination. So this is what, these are the rules, and you have to follow the all these rules. So it means you are following the actions, and this is what, this is the agent. Now agent is clear right now. The agent word is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
And
sir.
one more thing, yeah, and one more thing, I just need to explore more detail. That is state. So state, it means you are in the this point. So after this point, you are moving in this point right now. So you are not going back because you are in the right direction. So you have covered this distance. So it means you have moved from state S1 to state S2, and how you are moving, that is under come into the transition. that is enter come into the transition. So state and transitions are the two important terms that we have to use. The basic of the AI or the fundamental of AI should be clear. That is the point. So no issue if you don't know. So I'm here, so I will explain all the things. So reflex agent is what actually? I mean to say that over here. So after understanding this agent term, let me explain what is a reflex agent. Reflex agents are known as the simplest agent because they directly map states into action. And what is the states and actions? We have already seen in our previous classes under the problem formulation. So now I'm explaining over here what is the state and actions. And moving from one state to another state by some actions, it means you are using the transition. That is the point. So unfortunately, these agents fail to operate in the environment where the mapping is too large to store and learn. So if I'm talking about the reflex agent, so the simplest agent we can do, but for the large environment, it will be failed. So what are the different kind of agent we can use? So that is a goal-based agent. So that is the reason I have already written here some different five different type of the primary agent. What are those? Simple reflex agent, model based reflex agent, goal based agent, and utility based agent, and learning agent. So simple agent means this is sufficient to solve the problem for the small environment. Model based reflex agent, what kind of the model you are using? If you talk about the reinforcement learning, that is again the machine learning approach where we have to study. We have a two type of the model. One is the transition free model and transition based model, and that is we have the dynamic programming model, or we have the adaptive dynamic programming, and different kind of the models we have. So that kind of the model you are using to sort out the problem. So we have the model based reflex model. So that part we will see to the machine learning. So that is the reason I am not taking this point in deeply. That part I will tell the in the machine learning part. So simplex reflex model we have to keep in mind, that is just sufficient, that is more applicable to small amount of the environment, or a small environment you can say. Goal based agent we will pick. Why I have to pick the goal base? Because here we have already known to this point. We have a 2 point, one is a S and other one is G. So from starting to the goal uh, point, how we are reaching by the searching mechanism, that part we have already seen. So goal based agent we have already familiar and we have already worked. So this reason goal based agent we will see deeply, and utility based agent and learning agent, that part we will see into the our reinforcement learning. Utility based agent, we have a utility equations, utility functions, and how we can use a utility function. So that part we will see into the machine learning as well. So model based utility and learning agent I will tell you while studying into the machine learning. So I'm not going to deeply part because model, utility, and learning agent will use different equations and will use a different environment. So the equations, the everything we need to separately. So it will take much time. So we will not go to that one. But reflex agent you need to keep in mind by default. What is the reflex agent we are using? As the name says, the reflex agent means the agent which reflect the problem solutions by using the environment. So that is the reason people use the reflex agent. And these agents prove helpful to mapping the state and action, as I told you. And while solving the complex problem, these agents often fail to comprehend the next step adequately. So problem solving agents solve such scenario. So here after these agents, we have one more point, that is the problem solving agent. And what is the problem solving agent? I will tell you after this slide. First, let me complete this point. These agents use the techniques like the B tree and heuristic algorithm. And now you know the B tree. That what is B tree? Just tell me right now. What is B tree? You have already studied in the data structure. Balance tree. You have studied the balance tree or not? Tell me yes or no. You have studied balance tree, B plus tree, avial
Yes,
tree.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
We are
that is,
studying.
yeah, that is the reason. So these agents are use a different technique that we have already studied with data structure, the B tree, that is balance tree, and avial, after the avial tree, first we have the Redback tree. Okay, so before Redback tree we have the binary tree. So binary tree we have, then we have the base tree, and then we have the Redback tree, and after the Redback tree we have the avial tree, and after the avial tree we have the B tree, balance tree. So we will use all these techniques to sort out our problem. And heuristics algorithm is what? Heuristic algorithms are the our algorithm which is used to sort out the problem in the searching mechanism by using the heuristic functions. And what is the heuristic function? That part we already covered into the previous class. So here what we are saying, here I'm just taking the theory portion, what we have covered so far. So you can say this is a revision part. Okay, so that is the only reason, nothing else basically. Yeah. So now let me talk about the problem solving agent. But before that, let me ask the question: is it clear to all right now? What is the agent? What is the environment? And what is the verification state transition? All these words. Please keep in mind. Is it clear to all right now? The reflex agent. What is the role of the reflex agent? What is the need of the agent? Without the agent, we can say the environment will be meaningless. It is just a simple example. Your sim will be an agent. Okay, just so I'm just taking a simple example. Your sim will be the simple agent in your mobile. So who will you operate the phone? User. So user will be the agent, but sim will be the our we can say other our important parameter that is used to treat it as a agent. But we can't say sim will be the agent every time because user will be more involved. And what is the environment? What are the various uh, model will have the own functionality. So that environment will be going to use and actions. We previously we have used keypad and now we have the touchpad based mobile phone. So these are the various actions we can say. So definitely we will always think about the real life situation as well. So reflex agent is just the basic terms we have to keep in mind. Now it is clear right now? Yeah, yes, tell me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I just please keep in mind when some agents are failed, so problem solving agent we will have to use. So now this is the point. What is the problem solving agent? That is our topic name as well today. Problem solving in the AI. So if you're talking about the problem solving AI, so what is it mean by the problem solving agent? The problem solving agent performs precisely by defining the problems and its several solutions. So as a being a problem agent or being a we can say the uh, supervisor, so I have the many solutions I can give you, but which solution you are picking for your solve problem, so that is depend on the some parameter. What are the parameter? Completeness, optimality, time complexity, space complexity, we have already seen. So, according to the psychology, a problem solving agent means the problem solving refers to the state where we wish to reach to a definite goal from the present state or condition. In psychology, that is general we can say. But in the computer science, what is mean by the problem solving? Problem solving is a part of the our artificial intelligence which encompasses a number of the techniques such as the algorithm heuristics to solve the problem. Yeah, of course. So in general way, we can take an example. If I'm moving from the one city to another city, so what is the idea I have? I need to go by the bike or car to save the petrol. That is a my decision. So if I'm moving by the car, so I have to consume the more petrol because I'm the alone person who is going. So I can utilize by the uh, uh, two vehicles. So that is a better solution. If I need to move only 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, so why I have to use a car or bike? It is better idea. I can go by the foot or I can use a bicycle. So that is my point. So what is the desired state I'm taking? What is the environment I'm taking? What is the actions I will do? That is my wish to save my time and petrol. We can say in computer science definitely we can see the problem solving we can solve. So if you're talking about the computer science, so definitely algorithms and some standard functions are and some standard algorithms which are supported by AI based mechanisms is required. So here we have a distance. So problem solving agent is a goal driven agent and focus on the satisfying the goal. Okay, so this is the basic definition. At the time of the interview, anyone can ask you this question. Oh, you have studied the AI, so can you tell me what is mean by the problem solving agent? This word is not specified in your career syllabus, but I'm taking this term here to understand the if you're following any problem and what, if you are being an agent, so what kind of the agent we are following? That is a problem solving agent. Now it is clear right now. So can anyone tell me right now what would be the possible steps to perform the problem solving by the problem solving agent? What would be the possible steps? Just tell me. And we have already seen. Just recall your points in your mind. Just uh, do the some exercise in your minds. Just go to the thought process and tell me what would the process steps that can be taken by the problem solving agent.
So first would be the problem formulation.
Okay, good. Next, I'm talking about the steps. So there are many steps we have. Just think and tell me the what would the possible steps to which can be performed by the problem solving agent. Think and tell me. Okay, so what are the steps we have taken in the problem formulation? Hmm? Tell me. What are the steps we have taken?
So first we
Hmm.
define the initial state of the problem,
Okay, good.
uh, and then we define all the actions available to us in that state.
Super.
Th- and then we define the transitions that will happen after we take those actions.
Okay, super,
And,
super, splendid.
and then we will take those actions and evaluate if the goal has been reached.
Yeah,
And,
super, that's good.
and if the goal has been reached, then we will calculate if the path cost or the cost of reaching that goal was optimal or not.
Hmm, that's good. So in the problem formulation, as the student is telling to us, these are the basic steps we have taken. So the goal test is what? Goal test is telling to us it determine the given state is a goal state we are checking. So if talking about the problem solving is it, we have two very important steps. One is a goal formulation, and next one we have the problem formulation. Formulation means we have to decide what would be the our goal. Okay, so just like example, I am being a student. I have decided I need to get the 9 point CGPA minimum. So this is my goal after completion of my degree. And semester by each and every semester, I'm facing the different examination, and I'm just trying to reach the my goal, or I need to maintain the my CGPA. So what I will do, I will maintain the 8.9 or 9.3 something. So at least what I had in my mind before joining this degree, I need to at least keep the minimum 9 point CGPA to get a better placement. That is a simple point. So goal formulation would be the basic step, and then we have to take the problem formulation. Without defining the goal, your problem cannot be formulated. So what is the problem you have? You have to just identify the problem, and then you have to decide your goal. And you in the goal formulation, you will take the necessary steps. And what would be the necessary steps that can be handled by the problem formulations? So here we have two steps only. One is the goal formulation, and other one is the problem formulation. Okay, so goal formulations means this would be the first and simplest steps in the problem solving. It organizes the steps and the sequence required to formulate our goal from the multiple goals. Yes, that is the point, because we can say there are many paths we can have. So in which there is a guarantee we are choosing the right path, or we are moving on the right path. So that can be also managed by the our problem formulation. But we have to decide, if I'm going this city, one city to another city, so I have to take this path only. There are many paths. To save my petrol and time, I need to choose this path. But while moving to the or while covering the some path, I've just observed there are lots of the traffic we have, so I need to take the another path. So that is under come into the problem formulation, and what kind of actions I'm taking to change my path. So that is the reason. So goal formulation is more important point. And or maybe what you will do, you have decided the one path. You have been observed from the GPS technology. There are lots of the traffic may happen many times, so you will not choose that path. And this is really a situation happening with the Delhi and Bombay city as well, Mumbai cities. So goal formulation is based on the current situation and the agent's performance measure. So that is a very, very important point we have to keep in mind. And problem formulation, of course, we know all the points. What do you mean by the problem formulation? As a student already told to us, this would be the most important step of the problem solving, which decide what actions should be taken to achieve the formulate the goal. And there are five important steps. What are those? Initial state, actions, transition model, and of course goals test and path cost. Path cost is required. See, this is very, very important. So because if you're thinking your model is having the too much cost, so it means your model or the your problem formulation step you have taken, which will be high, computation cost will be high. So to avoid such things, so we have to measure the path cost as well. Okay, so these are the steps we have to taken. Okay, so these are the steps. Okay, so I'm given over here now. So at the time of the examination and the interview, if someone asks you the question, what are the problem solving steps and what would the possible step we can take? So just keep in mind two steps. One is the goal formulation and the other one is the problem formulation. And under the problem formulation, we have initial state, action, transition model, goal test, and path cost. Now it is clear right now. The basics is clear to all right now. The basics should be clear. What we have seen in our last four classes, we are just trying to cover all those points by just applying the one layer of the revision only. Now it is clear right now. Just anyone who need to ask any question from any one of the points, so we can discuss. Yes, tell me. Anyone who have.
Clear, sir.
Okay, so if talking about the some problems examples, okay, so there are two approaches we can take. So first, I would like to show them my this one example problems. We have two approaches. What are the two approaches? One is a toy problem. This is a heading is written already. Examples problems. What are the example problems we have? We have a one problem that is known as the toy problem, and next one we have a real world problem. Yes. Just read the some points and tell me right now what you are getting this point from these two problems. One is toy problem and the real world problems. Tell me right now. Read the points and tell me.
Sir, toy problem basically it is not connected with the real problem, but it is basically used for comparing and analyzing the performance of algorithms.
Okay, super. Just can you take an example to elaborate your idea? I will be happy to listen to your answer
Sir,
question.
like
Just tell.
we have, sir, I'm not sure, but like we have taken that jug and water problem.
Yeah, that is a good point. So, to a problem, I'm writing here the water jet problem. Yes, of course, we can have. But water jet problem is a real world problem or toy problem?
Sir, toy.
Think and tell me. See, the what is written over here? The toy problem means it contains the exit description of the problem which is used by the researchers to compare the performance of the algorithm. So when we have any problems in which compare, we can compare, and we need to check the performance. So that is the point. So what is the problem? Could be the toy problem. Yes, this is the point. Next point. Can we take the TikTok example? Can we take this example? This would be our problem, toy problem. See, I need the answer from your side as well.
Yes, sir, we can take.
And any other, please take. Can we take the chess example, chess problem example, as we have seen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So checkers too.
Yes, definitely checkers too will be. I can write here checkers too as well. Tell me more.
Sudoku.
Yes. See, what you are observing, you have to just keep in mind the two important words, that is concise and exact description of the problem. It means in the toy problem, what we have a limited amount of the problem we have to do. But in the real world, uh, it depend on the real world. So the problem will not be specified. The problem can be elaborated based on the our real world problems. It can be expand. It can be extend as per the our need. So we can say this is enter come into the general formulation. I am taking some example of the toy problem first. Let me know right now. Eight puzzle problem. Okay, so here we know what is the eight puzzle problem. We can move the our some blocks from the specified position to sort out the problem. That is a Rubik problem. This is similar to the our Rubik problem. Okay, this is similar to our Rubik problem. Okay, you are just adjusting your just, but that is only specified. We can't extend this problem for connecting with the relay problem as well, and we can't expand whatever the problem we have given. We can take. So this is the point. And what is the starting goal we have? What is the starting state we have? What is the goal state we have? That is only sort of a problem we can say. And with respect to this point, we have its state, initial state, action, and transition model, and goals and path cost. So problem formulation step we have to apply. But before that, we have to understand what is its goal. So the diagram, the image which are showing over here, that define the goal formulation. What is the our problem we have given, and what is the goal we have. And with the help of the problem formulation steps, we can identify what would be the states, what would be the initial state, and what would be the actions and transition model, goal state, and path cost. And those steps under come into the problem formulation. Now, next example, we can see the 8 problems. That is already specified. So we can use only the possible actions. We can't update anything. Whatever it is given, what is solution we have over here, we can utilize only those actions, those rules only. We can't update anything. But in the real world problem, we can extend, we can update its rule and actions depends on the our situation as well. So that is the reason the name is given real world problem. I'm taking a very simple example. A customer is trying to purchase a phone. So what is the customer satisfaction? That is not fulfilled on the today we can do, but in the coming days we have to expect. So this is our problem. The customer satisfaction should be fulfilled as per the customer requirement, customer need. But that is not a our problem. Why? Because our problem can be expanded depending on the customer's requirement in the coming years or coming days. So that is enter come into the our real world problem. So this kind of the problem we can consider into the real world problem. So after understanding this point, problem solving agent, what are the steps we have, and what is the example of the problems we can have. So there are two flavors. One is the short problem, other one is a real world problem. So 18 problems will already specify. Only the 8 quiz will be positioned on the specified locations. So based on the some rules, we can't make into diagonal and so on. So that is the point. But we can use only the 8 queens. We can't take the 9 queens. We can't take the 7 queens. That is the point. And one queens cannot be attacked on the or can be attacked. So these are the rules we can follow. This is our toy problem. So now some real world problem I can take traveling salesman problem. Yes, traveling salesman problem is would be the real world problem. A person who is moving from one city to another city to sell his or her product. What is the point? He is choosing the path, but there is a guarantee the path. This path is not better, so he is choosing the different path. He may choose a many path. So this is traveling salesman problem. We can incorporate to the real life as well. Like you people are just moving from one city to another city by your own vehicle with your family to visit another city. So you will ask your family members, so we will not go by this path. This is route is not good. This is route is not safe for the our side, and the road is not good. So better idea, we can move to the this path. This is the longest path definitely, but this will be safe and easy to drive on such road. So that is the point. So traffic salesman problem is a part of the real life problem as well, and we can incorporate into the different way. Next is the VLSI layout problem. VLSI layout problem. Why I'm taking this problem VLSI, because we have already seen the DLD. We have already known to about the basic of the electronics and electricals component. So VLSI layout problem means in the our chip and the integrated circuits ICs are designing nowadays for large volume storing purpose as well as the smooth functioning as well. So this is a this is a real problem. I'm taking a very simple example here. I'm remembering the some points with my experience. I can say I had into 2005. I had the Sony pen drive which was cost around 3,000 rupees, and that was only the 64 MB. Now I'm talking about 64 MB. But when today what we have, we can see that we have the compact size, and now we can store the 128 GB data. Previously, I'm talking about the MB megabyte, but now I'm talking about the gigabyte. So after such as a 15 or 16 years, after 16, 15, 16 years, what you're observing, the pen drive size is compact and that can store the large volume of data compared to by the previous one or 15 years, 16 years ago. So VLSI layout problem is what? We have sorted out this real problem and the size we have also into the compact form. That is the point. So this is would be our real world problems, and we can understand this problem. The person is always scanning his or her data in pocket, but 1 GB data, 2 GB data is not sufficient. So what he can do, he can carry the lots of data into his pocket into the compact manner. It is also possible. It is also possible. Truly fact, I have the one pen drive. I'm only having the one pen drive since the last 16 years. I'm also keeping always into my bag. That is the 1 GB. That is Kingston pen drive. So if I need to carry the 2 GB or 3 GB data, so I can't store. But that is again bigger in size. So in the compact size manner, I can have another pen drive that can store the 512 GB data. It is also possible nowadays. That is the reason. So this is a real problem in the VLSI layout problems. Definitely we have. Yes, okay. So for image purpose, I can show like this images. This is our examples. So this is our real world problem, and we can have the n number to real world problem. We can interconnect with the AI as well. So before moving to the AI and before understanding the AI in deeply and with the help of large scale of the problem, first we need to understand the basics of problems. Without knowing the basic problem, there will be no sense. So just like the before making the sentence, before making the words, you must be known to about the alphabets as well. This is the point. Now this clear. This is clear to right now all the students. What is the difference between the toy problem and real world problem? Is it clear to all right now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. I hope in this course you are getting something in the step by step. I'm taking all the things in the step by step, and every PPT, every concept is having the synchronization. Okay, so after understanding this problem, what your objective? So what we have covered today so far, we have seen the problem characteristics. Okay, so this is known as the 7 problem characteristics. Now we have seen to identify the what are the various examples on the problem in the AI. So what are those? I can speak once again over here. Chess problem, Einstein problems or Aitken's problem. We can say Tower of the Hanoi problem, traveling salesman problem, water jet problem. And after this one, we have seen the what is mean by the reflex agent. What is the agent? Okay, so and what is the goal agent and what is the problem solving agent and what is the need of the problem solving agent to solve our problem in the AI. And after this point, we have seen what are the necessary steps will be taken by the problem solving agent. So what are those? Goal formulation, problem solving. In problem solving, we have 5 different steps: initial state, actions, transition model, goal test, and path cost. After this point, we have seen the examples: toy problem and real world problem. So eight puzzle problem and eight quiz problem is a good example of the toy problem. What is the problem? Checkers problem and the different kinds of gaming applications, all the our toy problem. But if talking about the real world problems, so we have n number of the problems. I have taken the tablet assessment problem, VLSI layout problem, We can also take the consumer satisfaction problem and on the such mobile. These are the lots of problems we can have. So after this point, what do you think? What would be the our next step should be? You can just tell me right now. We have discussed the problems, and after the problems, we have a solution. Without knowing about these points, the our class will not be uh, fulfilled, or our class will not be meaningful because we will talk about the problems. But what is mean by the solution? Just tell me right now. Can anyone tell me right now what is mean by the problems, solutions? And that part we also seen. Yes, tell me. Just tell me right now. If talking about the problems, we have already seen what are the problems, what are kind of the flavor of the problem we have. What is think about the solution? And that part we already seen. This is the reason I'm asking from you.
Something that addresses that particular problem.
Okay, so what is the mechanism we have taken to solve the problem? Yesterday we have taken. So you can,
Search strategies.
yeah, searching is the solution because what we have a problem. So we have to get the solution from the searching mechanism. So we have to search the solution, and we have the n number of the various searching algorithms, so we can apply the appropriate algorithm, searching algorithm, to get our solution. So this is the very important term. So we have seen the many problems few couple of the seconds ago. So now we need to understand the solution and how we can search the solution. So we have a searching algorithm. That part we have seen yesterday. And what are the our two the kind of the searching algorithm? Uninformed and informed. And uninformed we have seen the BFS, DFS, and Unicost, uniform cost search. And if talk about the informed, so we have seen the A star and greedy search. Am I right? Yes, tell me. These two kind of the flavor searching algorithms we have seen. Is it true?
Yes, sir.
And for solving the different kind of the problems, an agent makes use of the different strategy. Definitely, see, uh, based on the problems we have the based on the problem we have the actions, we have the strategy, we have the plan. So if you remember the my word, we have used the word that is a plan. This plan is what? This is a strategy. You can't apply the rules of the football to play the cricket because cricket is a different game and football is a different game. So each and every game has own rules. So what is the plan? You need to plan to win the game according to the your rules on the such games only. You can't apply the volleyball rules, volleyball playing the game rules kind of rule into the cricket. That is the point. So we have different. So this is what is a strategy. So strategy is what actually? Strategy means what kind of the goal I have to achieve by the my searching mechanism, that is known as the best possible algorithm. And based on the different problem or different numerical, we have seen the different kind of the our searching mechanism, and this is known as our strategy or plan. Okay. So, can anyone tell me right now what would be the various steps to solve any problem? This is the basics point I'm taking. These are the steps, process steps. Diagram. So first is defining the problem, yes, and then analyzing the problem, and then identify the solution, and then choosing the appropriate solution, and then implement. Is it true? You have already implement the various small project in your curriculum, but you have gone through all these points. First, you try to identify the problem. First, you have analyzed the problem, how we can solve the problem. Then you can apply the goal formulation and problem formulation. Without knowing the identify the problem, there will be no sense. So we are not the champion to write the code directly on the system. Without knowing the flowchart, without knowing the algorithm, you are not able to write the code directly. You can, as a being human person, we can do, but there will be no sense. Before writing the code on the system, it is better idea to design the flow chart and then write some algorithmic steps. then you need to implement the algorithm steps in your system to solve your problem, and that is come into the analyzing the problems and identification solution. Yes, we can have the n number of solution. Which solution you are picking, that is depend on the optimality, that is depend on the completeness, that is depend on the less time and space complexity. So identification solution is more important. And choosing solution, yes, of course, based on the different dimension, we will choose the best possible solution, and then we will implement. So we will not allow to, we can do, but as per the rules of the implementing the good project, we will not allow to write the code directly on the system. First we need to go through the some documentation properly. That is the reason. So at the time of the project, wherever many faculties or supervisor will ask you the question, what is your objectives, what is your aim you have done, what is the purpose of implementing this thing. So you people have not gone through that part. So there will be lots of the cross questioning. To avoid the loss of the cross questioning, it's a better idea to go through the proper steps. So these are the proper steps. Now it is clear to all right now, because this is our general problems we have already used, and we have already seen this thing into our various project exhibition by at the time of the presentation. Now it is clear to right now what is the problem we have and how we can solve the problem. So what would be the steps? So this is the process steps diagram of the our various problem solving. Now it is clear right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here I'm having very simple questions. So this is my general question. So I need to ask you, what are the four main component, four area of the artificial intelligence? Because you are understanding this course. So what are the various or four main area where AI we can use? Just can anyone tell me right now?